Hello friends, welcome to Aram IAS Academy. In this video session, we will start our discussion on important map points for Prelims 2020 Part 3. So the map points for the day which we have included in these slides are: number 1, Dehing Patkai Forest. Second is Pangong Tso Lake of Ladakh. Third is Kala Pani territory between India and Nepal. Fourth is Naku La Pass of Sikkim. Fifth is Bhilwara district of Rajasthan. Sixth is Visakhapatnam district of Andhra Pradesh. Seventh is Kailash Mansarovar Link Road. Eighth is Palghar district of Maharashtra. Ninth is Uj and Basantar Bridge. 10th is Kasol Bridge. Right? These are the points which we have taken for this session, which we will discuss one after another. So the first point is Dehing Patkai Forest. Okay. So Dehing Patkai Forest, first as usual I will tell you the location of this forest. Then we will talk why it was in news. Okay. So the Dehing Patkai Forest or Dehing Patkai Elephant Reserve is present in Assam region, right? So it is present in the northeast part of India in a state called Assam. So Dehing Patkai Elephant Reserve is present in Assam region of northeast part of India, right? It is the first point. Second, why it was in news? It was in news because in a body called as National Board for Wildlife, NBWL. It is a body of Government of India which is headed by Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Okay, it is governed under the rules of Wildlife Protection Act 1972. So this particular organization has given in principle approval for mining of coal from this Dehing Patkai Elephant Reserve. Thus a controversy has created by the government's order, and all the environmentalists of the country and around the world are criticizing the government decision to explore or to exploiting the coal from this particular elephant corridor, because the exploitation of coal from this forest will definitely affect the movement of elephant. Then there are chances for creation of origin of man-animal conflict and also the movement of animal from one region to another, right? So these are the facts related to this particular map point. What are the things which have left? We will discuss one after another. So the first point, Dehing Patkai Wildlife Sanctuary is also called as Jaipur Forest, right? Don't get confused with Jaipur of Rajasthan. Jaipur Forest is present in Assam region. It is an alternate name of Dehing Patkai Wildlife Sanctuary. Okay, Jaipur, J-E-Y-P-O-R-E, Jaipur Forest. Second point is the Dehing is a name of river. Okay, so name Dehing denotes a river and Patkai denotes the hill at which the sanctuary is located. Patkai is a hill. On the foothills of Patkai hills, the elephant sanctuary, Dehing Patkai Elephant Sanctuary is located. Okay, so it is the second point. Third point is it is the only sanctuary in India to have 7 cat species, right? So 7 cat species, which means we have population of tiger in this particular wildlife sanctuary, we have population of leopard, we have population of clouded leopard, we have population of leopard cat, and we have population of golden cat, then we have jungle cat, and also finally marbled cat. So it is one of the most important fact of this Dehing Patkai Wildlife Sanctuary. It is the only sanctuary of India to have 7 species of wild cats with respect to tiger, leopard, clouded leopard, golden cat, and leopard cat, jungle cat, marble cat, right? So it is the third most important point of this series. Fourth is Dehing Patkai, though it is an evergreen rainforest, though it is a tropical evergreen forest, but specific part of Dehing Patkai comes under Belukar forest or called as the secondary forest, which are nothing but deciduous part of rainforest, right? So deciduous part of rainforest is called as secondary forest, which geographically denoted as Belukar forest. So Dehing Patkai is a deciduous forest interspersed with semi-evergreen and lush green flora. So it is the fourth important point. And last one is Assamese macaque, okay, which is a similar species to line-tailed macaque of Western Ghats. Thus Assamese macaque is a primate found in the forest and it is a near threatened species. Assamese macaque is found only in northeast part of India, and lion-tailed macaque, which is an endangered species, lion-tailed macaque, which is an endangered species, which is found only in the Western Ghats, right? So don't get confused with the lion-tailed macaque or Western Assamese macaque. Similar questions UPSC has asked in previous year, like great hornbill can be found in which among the following region? Okay, they have given option Western Ghats, upper part of Himalayas, North Himalayas, like this. So similar question can be asked by the UPSC. Assamese macaque are found only in northeast part of India. Lion-tailed macaque are found only in the Western Ghats, right? So these are the fact about Dihing Patkai. This was fully in news because of the order, because of the in principle approval given by the National Board for Wildlife, which comes under Ministry of, which is headed by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change and governed by Wildlife Protection Act 1972. So it is all about the first map point of our series. UPSC can ask any type of question from this forest, right? UPSC can ask about the elephant category, the Asian elephant category. Okay, Asian elephant, the category of Asian elephant is vulnerable, whereas similar elephant is found in Africa, which is endangered. Okay, so these two categories we must keep it in mind. Second is they can ask about the vegetation. Vegetation of northeast part of India is tropical evergreen vegetation, because this region experiences two branch of southwest monsoon. One is Bay of Bengal branch, another is Arabian Sea branch. Thus experiences rainfall more than 200 centimeter, right? So it is the third point. Next is they can ask about the Dihing river. Okay, Dihing is a river which is present in northeast part of India, and Patkai is a hill. Patkai hill. Okay, or they can put up a simple fact: which among the following wildlife sanctuary hosts all the 7 species of cats, right? So it is Dihing Patkai. The same fact can be framed in statement manner also, right? So it is all about the first important map point. Going to the second point. The second point talks about the Pangong Tso Lake. We all know Pangong Tso Lake is located in Ladakh region of northern part of India. Now we cannot say it's Jammu and Kashmir. Now Ladakh is a union territory, Jammu and Kashmir also a different union territory. Thus Pangong Tso Lake is present in Ladakh union territory. Okay, so it is a one point. Next, it is a saltwater lake. Okay, it is a saltwater lake. How come a saltwater lake can origin in the upper part of mountain? So basic simple reason for this occurrence is, we all know about the plate tectonics theory, we all know about the continental drift theory, we all know about the Pangaea and Panthalassa, we all know about the Laurasia and Gondwana land. Okay, so Laurasia and Gondwana. Between this Laurasia and Gondwana, we had a water body called as Tethys Sea. When the Laurasia and Gondwana got compressed around each other, it led to folding of this Tethys geosyncline, which led to formation of fold mountain in the form of Himalayas. But in some pockets, there was incomplete folding. Thus, the salt water was left over some places in the form of Pangong Tso saltwater lake, as well as nearest Pangong Tso Morori saltwater lake, right? So Pangong Tso is a saltwater lake formed due to folding of geosyncline, which was called as Tethys Sea in the geological past, approximately 250 million years ago, and continued up to 70 million years ago, right? So these are the fact about the Pangong Tso. Now, what is another character of Pangong Tso? It is endorphin labor. Endorheic lake. What is the meaning of endorheic? The term endorheic denotes that this lake will allow water to come in, but it will not allow water to go out, right? So let's assume it is the lake. It will allow water from all the side towards lake, but the water from the lake cannot go out. That is the meaning of endorheic lake. Okay, it is also called as landlocked lake, because this lake is entirely surrounded by land from all the side. That landmass is also utilized by Indian Army in the form of fingers. The particular mountain north of Pangong Tso is termed as fingers by Indian Army because it is utilized as finger of our hand to stop the excursion of Chinese aggression. Right, that thing we will see in the upcoming slides. So it is the first point. Pangong Tso Lake area present on the LAC, line of actual control between India and China. Okay, so line of actual control denotes the illegally occupied part by China of Ladakh region and Indian part, right. So Ladakh illegally occupied by China, Akshay Chin region of Ladakh. Clear? It is the first point. Second point, it is a endorheic lake, which means water will come in but cannot go out. Third point is the brackish water freezes in winter time, which is suitable for skating as well as playing polo, right, skating and polo. Fourth is, as I said earlier, the barren mountain northern part of this lake are called as Chang Chen Mo. Okay, so the northern mountain which is located north of Pangong Tso lakes are called as Chang Chen Mo mountains, which are utilized by Indian Army and termed as fingers. So you can see this fingers. If UPSC frames a question, the term finger which frequently appeared in news, the right answer will be the mountains present north of Pangong Tso lake. And the controversy is, the first is, it is situated at the height of approximately 4,350 meters from the mean sea level. Thus, it is the highest saltwater lake of the world, right. From mean sea level, it is highest saltwater lake from the mean sea level. It is also a Ramsar site. Okay, it is also a Ramsar site. Clear? So these are the fact and figures about the Pangong Tso lake. Recently, there was a controversy between Indian soldiers and Chinese soldiers on the western front. Recently, there was hand-to-hand fight between Indian soldiers and Chinese soldiers, in which dozens of soldiers got injured. Thus, this particular place frequently appeared in news, and we have taken that news from the Hindu. Clear? So it is all about the second point. Now, UPSC can ask you question from this particular place, a simple fact or as well as conceptual fact. So if we put it as simple fact, they can ask you a question, Pangong Tso is a saltwater lake. Yes. Pangong Tso is included in Ramsar Convention. Yes. If they make it conceptual, Pangong Tso is formed due to convergence of plate boundary, right, or they can also put in convergence of or compression of geosyncline or compression of Tethys geosyncline. They can frame it in the conceptual manner, right. So for both the part, you must get ready line of actual control, McMahon line, these are present in western front. So keep it in mind. Okay, it is all about the Pangong Tso lake. Next point is Kala Pani. This particular place also appeared multiple times in 2019 and also in 2020 up to May 2020, right. So this Kala Pani, it is a disputed territory. Let me tell you first what is it. It is a disputed territory between India and Nepal. Now, why this news has appeared, why this place has appeared? This place has appeared due to release of new map by India. Okay, after reorganization of Jammu and Kashmir into two parts, Kashmir one part and Ladakh second part, the new map of India was released. Then the territory called Kala Pani, which is a disputed territory between India and Nepal, was included as a Pithoragarh district of Uttarakhand, which was strictly objected by Nepalese authority. Then the dialogue process is going on between India and Nepal regarding this particular place. So let us see about the fact and figure of Kala Pani. First is Kala Pani is located on the border between India and Nepal. From Indian side it is Uttarakhand and from Nepal side it is one Pradesh, right. The full form of Pradesh will be in the next slide. So Uttarakhand of Pithoragarh district and Pradesh of Nepalese region. The significance of this place is it is located at a pass, at a mountainous pass called as Lippu Lake Pass. Okay, Lippu Lake Pass. The Lippu Lake Pass is famous for the movement of pilgrims from India towards Kailash Mansarovar. Okay, we know when Mount Kailash is there, the abode of Shiva, it is present in Tibet region. So the pilgrim from Indian side goes to that temple, goes to that shrine through Lippu Lake Pass. Right, thus this is one of the important or significant place for the Indian side also, as well as Nepali side. Next important point is, this place is origin place, or it is a collection of all the tributaries of Mahakali river and origin source of river Mahakali. Okay, so from Kalapani, river Mahakali or Kali river originates and moves in all direction. Clear? So these are the three important fact which appeared in news. Now we will see what are the another fact which we have left over. So location, as I already mentioned you, it is located between India and Nepal. Indian side we have Uttarakhand, and Nepal side we have Sudur Paschim Pradesh. Sudur Paschim Pradesh. Sudur means far, Paschim means west, Pradesh means land. Okay, Sudur Paschim land. This is the name of the territory in Nepali side. So it includes, India included Kalapani in the Pithoragarh district of Uttarakhand after release of new map. Right. Next is, Nepalese government says that Kalapani is an integral part of country, and that talks between India and Nepal are still on. Third is, it borders Uttarakhand of India and Sudur Paschim Pradesh of Nepalese region. It is a third important fact. And fourth one is, Nepal claims that it all started from the origin source of Kali river. Nepal claims that river located towards the west of Kalapani. Okay, river located to the west of Kalapani is Kali river. Thus, this territory belongs to us. India claims that there is a ridge line towards the east of Kalapani. That ridge line belongs to India. Thus, Kalapani is located. Thus, Kalapani is belong to Indian side. So both the side claims on the basis of Kali river in the west for Nepal and on the basis of ridge in the east for India. Thus, it is creating a high amount of dispute between India and Nepal. Both the government are still talking about to sort out this particular issue. So it is a fourth point. And finally, all the disputes started from the year 1816 when Treaty of Sagoli was signed by India and Nepal, that is British East India Company and government of Nepal in 1816, which demarcated the boundary of India and Nepal. From that point of origin, this controversy started, which is still in continuous mode and still in disputed mode, right. So these are the fact and figures about the Kalapani. Fully keep it in mind. Sources as usual, Hindu link, right. So this is the framework. So question can be asked, Lippu Lake Pass connect which among the following countries? Okay. Term Kalapani is a controversy between which among the following countries, or they can simply put it in a way, the boundary name of India Nepal. They can ask you in this manner also. The boundary name of India Nepal is Radolph line. Okay, these are the basic fact about India and Nepal boundary, or they can go back to the history. They can also ask about the 1860 Treaty of Sagoli. So please read Treaty of Sagoli one time in your history book, and also about these phenomena in this map points. Okay, so this is all about the Kalapani dispute. The fourth is similar to Pangong Tso. The Eastern Front experienced India and Chinese soldiers skirmish at a place called Naku La Pass, which is present in Sikkim. Okay, so location of Naku La Pass is Sikkim. Why this was in news? This was in news because you can see in this picture there are few soldiers standing and fighting. Here we can find Indian soldiers as well as Chinese soldiers. So India and Chinese soldiers had a fight in this particular Naku La Pass, which is present in Sikkim. Okay, so what are the things happening in this zone? Why this skirmish happened? which we will see one by one. So this is the phenomena. We have two front. One is Western Front, where Pangong Tso, which we have already discussed, and Eastern Front, which is in which Nakula Pass was the news, where India and Chinese soldiers had a tough fight. Okay, dozens of soldiers got injured in this hand-to-hand fight between both the countryside, right? So it is a fact. So Nakula Pass ahead of Mugutang, right? Mugutang is a place. I will tell you what is the significance of that place in the later on slides. So first point is Indians and Chinese soldiers had a fight near Nakula Pass in Sikkim region. Okay, so Nakula Pass is one important pass between India and China, and we have two another important pass. One is Nathula. Don't get confused with Nakula and Nathula. Nakula Pass is different, Nathula Pass is different. Okay. Second is Jelipla Pass. Okay, so there are two important pass other than Nakula Pass. One is Nathula Pass, another is Jelipla Pass. These three passes had gives way to India and China. Okay, so which connect India and China. So this is the first point. Second is, we can see, as I said earlier, it is located on the Mugutang. Okay, Mugutang is a place, or it is also called as Cholamu. Mugutang or Cholamu. It is the origin place of one of the most important river, Teesta. Okay, I think you are all aware of the question called Bandarpooch Glacier, which was asked recently. That is in 2019. UPSC has asked Bandarpooch Glacier. So similarly, we must know about the Mugutang or Cholamu Glacier, which is the origin point of Teesta River, present on the Kanchenjunga mountain. Okay, Kanchenjunga mountain. So keep it in mind. Kanchenjunga is origin place of Teesta from a glacier called as Mugutang Glacier, which is otherwise called as Cholamu Glacier. Teesta River is a international river which is shared by India as well as Bangladesh. Clear? So it is the second fact. Third is other important passes. I have already mentioned you Nathula Pass and Jelipla Pass. Nathula was opened in 2006 after long years, right? It was closed in 1962 after Indo-China War and opened for trade purpose in 2006, and recently this pass was utilized for Kailash Mansarovar Yatra. From this pass we have a motorable road up to Kailash Mansarovar. From Lipu Lake we have non-motorable road. Now we have already constructed a motorable road in that particular pass also. But this point we have to keep it in mind. The pass which was closed in 1962 has reopened in 2006 for trade purposes and in 15-16 time for this particular Kailash Mansarovar Yatra. Okay, it is the third important point. Next is we have old controversy regarding this Sikkim, Bhutan and Chinese region, which is called as Doklam Plateau or Donglang Plateau. Okay, a Doklam or Donglang a plateau which is located on the tri-junction of India, China and Bhutan. A long controversy emerged when Chinese troops were stationed near this pass, which is nearest point to our Chicken Neck corridor. Okay, National Highway 31 passes through Chicken Neck corridor, which is present in northeast part of India. Okay, so these phenomena you keep it in mind. Chicken Neck corridor, from where National Highway 31 goes, which is also called as lifeline of northeast India. Okay, it is all about the Nakula, Nathula, Jelipla, Doklam Plateau. Okay, so these things were appeared in Hindu, frequently appeared because there is controversy in Western Front and also in Eastern Front. UPSC can ask you which among the following passes are present in Sikkim. They can ask you Nakula Pass, they can ask you Nathula Pass as well as Jelipla Pass to make you confused. All knows Nathula Pass, but many don't know about the Nakula Pass. Okay, so keep it in mind. These three passes are present in Sikkim, which connect India with China. Of that, Nathula is one of the most important pass because from there high amount of trade activity is going on between India and China. Okay, this is the fact about the particular point. Let's go to next map point. The next map point talks about the Bhilwara district, right? So the Bhilwara district is present in state of Rajasthan, but in the Mewar region. Okay, so Mewar region, in that a district called as Bhilwara is present. Now this particular district was in news for the COVID lockdown reason. Here the lockdown imposed very strictly that there was no supply, even no supply of essential things took place, which has succeeded in a successful model called as Bhilwara model. Okay, and you all must know this district, the collector of this district is the topper of the batch, Tina Dabi. Clear? So collector Tina Dabi has imposed a strict lockdown that for the next 3 days not even a single person can come out. The curfew was strictly imposed. There was house to house surveillance, and thus the district, which was a hotspot for COVID-19, got relieved from that particular virus phenomena, right? So about this particular place we will see one by one. Bhilwara, as I already said, it is present in the Mewar region in the state of Rajasthan, and it is called as textile city because this city is more famous for the textile region due to presence of numerous rivers. Like we have multiple rivers flowing in this region like Banas river, Bedach river, Kothari, Khari, Mansi, Menali, Chandrabhaga and Nagdi. We are not supposed to remember all these rivers, just keep it in mind. We must know the river called as Banas and also called as Chandrabhaga. Okay. So these are the major rivers flowing through this region. Because of these rivers, this particular city is called as textile city of Rajasthan. Next is the measures taken by the state government to control the COVID-19, where the state administration also barred the supply of essential services. Thus, because of this strict curfew imposition, the district has got relief from the COVID-19 cases. Okay, house to house surveys to check for the possible cases also took place by the district administration. And finally, the shutdown was total with the city and district borders sealed, check post at every entry and exit post, which is still continuing in that particular district. That is why that particular district is free from COVID-19 virus impact. Okay, so these are the fact and figures about the Bhilwara district. So you must know Bhilwara district is present in Rajasthan in the Mewar region. Near Mewar region we can also find the famous district called Chittorgarh district, which is famous for the hill forts, and also Savai Madhopur district, right? These districts are present in the Aravalli ranges, which is famous for the hill forts of Rajasthan, which are included in the UNESCO list. Okay, it is all about the Bhilwara district. UPSC can frame question as simple as that. Hill forts of, they can ask directly about the hill forts of Rajasthan, or they can ask about the rivers which crosses Bhilwara district. Like this geographical factors they can ask. In science and technology they will ask you the COVID-19 issues, right? So it is the fact about the Bhilwara. Let's go to the next point, Visakhapatnam. Okay, we know Visakhapatnam is a coastal city present in the state of Andhra. Okay, so Andhra Pradesh, it is present in the state of Andhra Pradesh on the bank of Bay of Bengal. Okay, so it is a coastal city over Bay of Bengal. This is the this district was utilized as a capital for the Andhra Pradesh before Amravati state capital, right? So this is the district. Vizag was recently in news, we all know, because of the gas leak. Okay, there was a plant owned by LG from where gas started to leak, which led to death of many people around that particular place. The gas spread over the larger area, which have impacted the central nervous system of many people. Thus, this particular place was frequently in news. We will see one by one. So, first point is Visakhapatnam is largest city of Andhra Pradesh and it is called as jewel of the east coast, right? Jewel of the east coast because it is Visakhapatnam hosts one of the major ports of the country, and through this major port high amount of product are transported or exported to other countries. So jewel of the east. Next is a gas leak, right? The gas was called as ethyl benzene, okay? Ethyl benzene or styrene gas. The exact name of that gas is styrene, which is also called as ethyl benzene, vinyl benzene and phenylethyl, right? These gases, the styrene gas released in the high amount, which are organic compound with chemical formula called as C6H5CH is equal to CH2, right? It is a chemical formula which is used to denote the styrene gas. Next is, it is a flammable liquid that is used to manufacturing polystyrene plastic, fiber glasses, rubber and also latex particles, right? So this particular gas is used to manufacturing of polystyrene plastics, fiber glasses, rubber particles and also latex particles. Next is US based Environmental Protection Agency, okay? US based. It has given a short term exposure to the substance can cause respiratory problems, irritation in the eyes, irritation in the mucous membrane and also gastrointestinal diseases. These are the problem which occurs due to inhalation of styrene gas. Okay. Next is the long term exposure of styrene gas can affect the CNS. So central nervous system and lead to related problem like peripheral neuropathy. It can also lead to cancer and depression in some scenario. Statement as given by the LG company, the statement says stagnation and changes in temperature inside the storage tank is the main cause for. This is a statement given by the particular company. A coastline is broken by number of bald head, the important of them being the dolphin nose, which had the establishment of natural harbor, right? This fact is about the Vizag. Vizag is famous for the creation of or origin of natural harbor. That is why it is called as jewel of the east. So it is all about the Vizag. And finally, this Vizag is rich in bauxite mining, calcite particles, crystalline limestone. These are the more famous resources present in Vizag district, and this Vizag district comes under the Eastern Ghats region. Thus, it is also rich in uranium mining activities, right? So these are the fact and figure about the Vizag. We must know Vizag is a coastal city. It is called as Crown of East because of presence of numerous harbor and also due to location of major port of India. Okay. So these phenomena, this thing is also taken from the Hindu newspaper. Next map point. The next map point is about the Kailash Mansarovar link road. Okay. We must know the location of Kailash Mansarovar, and also what is this link road all about. Okay. So 2 points, Kailash Mansarovar and link road. These things will be discussed in this particular point. So Mount Kailash, it is present in Tibet. Okay. So Mount Kailash is a mountain where Lord Shiva has a abode. So it is called as abode of Shiva. In Hindu mythology, this mountain is a home of Lord Shiva. Thus, many pilgrims goes to this particular mountain in a specific season. Second is link road. Now, already we have discussed about the Lippu Lake Pass from Uttarakhand, Kalapani territory, which is a controversial territory between India and Nepal. From this Lippu Lake Pass, Government of India with the help of Border Road Organization has constructed a road called as Kailash Mansarovar link road, which is because of this particular road, the distance between Kailash Mansarovar and India has reduced to much. Okay. So the shortest route for Kailash Mansarovar from Lippu Lake Pass. We have already a long route from Sikkim. We have already a long route from Nathula Pass. But now because of this link road, we have reduced the distance between Indian pilgrims and Kailash Mansarovar to much. So this is the fact about this particular map point. So going one by one, recently Defence Minister of India inaugurated the new 80-kilometer Uttarakhand Kailash Mansarovar link road. Okay, so around the line of actual control via Lipulekh Pass. The Lipulekh Pass is also called as Kingyo Pass. Okay, Kingyo, Q-I-N-G-O, Kingyo Pass. Next is the link road is named as Kailash Mansarovar Yatra, under which Border Road Organization achieved road connectivity from Dharachula of Pithoragarh district of Uttarakhand up to Lipulekh Pass or Kingda Pass. Okay, so Kingda Pass is an alternate name of Lipulekh Pass. It is the second important thing. Third is, it is the shortest and cheapest route, just 1/5 distance and travel compared to other travel road. That is, we have another road to Kailash Mansarovar via Sikkim, but through Lipulekh, it is just 1/5 of the entire travel time towards the Kailash Mansarovar, right? It is one of the important fact about this particular mountain. So we must know the location of Lipulekh. We must know Kailash Mansarovar is constructed by Border Road Organization through line of actual control. And finally, as I said earlier, to Hindus, it is embodiment of the dominant mountain, heaven, Meru, and residence of Lord Shiva, along with consort goddess Parvati. Okay, these are the facts. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 important facts. From geographical point of view, we must know the Lipulekh and Kingla Pass, which is present between India and Nepal. Through this pass, Border Road Organization has constructed a Kailash Mansarovar link road. Because of that road, the distance between Kailash Mansarovar and India has reduced to 1/5. We have already one route from Sikkim, Nathula Pass. That route is a motorable road which is utilized by Indians for the pilgrimage towards Kailash Mansarovar, right? This is the fact about Kailash Mansarovar, which is also taken from the Hindu. Okay. Next is Palghar. Okay, Palghar. Palghar is a district. It is a coastal district present in Maharashtra. This Palghar was recently in news for geographical aspect called as earthquake swamps. So what is the meaning of earthquake swamps? Why Palghar is more prone to earthquake swamps? Why Deccan part of India is less vulnerable to earthquakes? And do we have any other places to experience earthquake swamps? These phenomena will be discussed in this particular topic. So Palghar, the location of Palghar is, as I said earlier, it is a coastal district of Maharashtra opening to Arabian Sea. Okay, and nearest to Mumbai Ahmedabad high speed railway network line. Okay, it is also near to Mumbai Ahmedabad high speed railway link. Next, what is earthquake swamps? Earthquake swamps are nothing but frequent occurrence of earthquake back to back over a place, right? So frequent occurrence of earthquake back to back over a place is called as earthquake swamps. This is the fact which appeared in news recently, and this was also in news for wrong reason, because of killing of sadhu through spreading of fake news. That we will not discuss here. We will discuss about the geographical fact alone. Clear? So first point is Palghar is Konkan division of state of Maharashtra near Mumbai, and it is located near the Mumbai Ahmedabad high speed rail network travel. It was rocked by minor earthquakes, 6 tremors on a day recently. Okay, so in a one particular day, the Palghar district experienced 6 minor tremors. Thus, it was announced as earthquake swamps. Next is, it is a series of sometimes 1000 low magnitude earthquake without disincredible main shock. There is no main shock, but this region experienced many minor earthquakes. Clear? So it is a third point. When seismic energy piles up inside the earth and released into small amount from the certain points, such series of earthquake can occur, right? So we know seismic activity or seismology, the seismic waves, primary, secondary and tertiary, right? These waves causes earthquake activity on the surface of the earth. Primary waves travels in solid, liquid and gaseous medium, whereas secondary waves travels only in solid medium. The tertiary waves, L waves or love waves, it travels on the surface of the earth and most disastrous in nature. which is experienced as earthquake on the surface of the earth, right? So these are the facts which are present on this particular Palghar district. Next important point is when seismic energy piles up inside or below the surface of the earth and released from a point, then it travels in all direction and reaches to the surface of the earth as an earthquake wave. Next is in India, sequence of low intensity earthquakes have found previously in Saurashtra, Gujarat region and also Koyna in Maharashtra, along with extra peninsular region of Himachal Pradesh. In Himachal Pradesh also we have experienced earthquake swamps. Okay. Next is Deccan Plateau is not earthquake prone zone because it consists of hard rocks. Hard rocks does not support earthquake activities, rather they reduces the impact of energy, whereas the Himalayan region is present on the convergent plate margin of Indo-Australia with Eurasian plate, thus extra peninsular region is more prone to earthquake activities. Okay. Next is there is also loose soil which makes the waves stay longer and release more energy, cause more damage in the northern part of India, that is extra peninsular part. Okay. These are the fact about the Palghar, Deccan Plateau, Deccan Traps and comparison between extra peninsular region which experiences high amount of earthquake activity and peninsular region which experiences low amount of earthquake activity. One thing we must know that though peninsular part of India is located on hard rock, it has also experienced high intensity earthquake in same Palghar district or in the Koyna district of Maharashtra. Okay. So it is all about the earthquake swamps, Palghar district which frequently experienced earthquake swamps, right? So this phenomena is also, what is the need for, now next thing is what is the need for caution? Major earthquake, though this region is experiencing minor earthquake as for now, but this can also experience major earthquakes in near future because there is continuous building up of energy below the surface of the earth. Next is due to release of energy, major earthquake can occur. This major earthquake or these major earthquake can create a threatful situation in the entire region. Next is the Kacha house present in Palghar and surrounding district where people are located or people have constructed their home in Kacha houses are more prone to damages by the earthquake activity. That damage will definitely cause the loss of life heavily compared to normal houses, right? And fourth point is closer scientific research we have to do closer scientific research on this Koyna belt of Maharashtra near Palghar district, why frequent occurrence of earthquake swamps are happening in this region and what will be the impact of this particular phenomena. And finally, we have to create a disaster management plan for the entire Deccan region. Though Deccan region is less vulnerable to earthquake activity, but in near future, as per scientific knowledge, in near future, if this place experiences major earthquake activity, then we must be ready with a disaster management map for mitigating the impact of major earthquake, right? So it is the need for the caution. With this phenomena also taken from the Hindu. Mumbai, why are quake happening at Palghar? One article. Second is that lynching of some sadhus in the Palghar district due to fake news, right? So this link is very important for us at geographical point of view. This place you just know, okay, Palghar is a coastal city of Maharashtra opening to Arabian Sea. It is all about the Palghar district. Next is one important bridge, actually two important bridge. One is Uj bridge and second is Basantar bridge. These are the two important bridges constructed by Border Road Organization and inaugurated by the Defence Minister of India recently. Okay, two rivers in Jammu and Kashmir region at a district called as Kathua and Samba. Okay, Kathua and Samba. In earlier time, before the construction of these bridges, these districts were not connected to the mainland. After the construction of these bridges, Kathua and Samba are interconnected, which is creating last mile connectivity to the citizen of the state and also to the armed forces, right? It is constructed by Border Road Organization under a project called as Project Sampark. The meaning of Sampark is touch. Okay, to have a touch. So Sampark, contact, right? So a suitable term is contact, to have a contact with people. Okay, so it is the program of Border Road Organization, which comes under Ministry of Defence. So going with this, we will discuss one by one. 1 kilometer long Uj Bridge is the longest road bridge constructed by BRO, Border Road Organization, till now on Parol Korepannu Rajpura Road at Uj Nala. Uj is a small tributary of Ravi River. Okay, so Uj Nala. Nala means a small canal. So Uj is a canal which is also tributary of Ravi River. Okay, so river Ravi. Ravi is a tributary of Indus. Next is, these bridges will give a big relief to armed forces and also to local people of the border villages of Kathua and Samba sector of Jammu and Kashmir. Okay. Next is, 1 kilometer long bridge is longest bridge constructed by BRO, has distinction where technology of precast segmentation. What is the meaning of precast segmentation? Precast segmentation is nothing but the already used particles were used in the construction of this bridge, that is recycling of old particles for the construction of new bridge. It is called as precasting segmentation. Okay. Next point is, it has been constructed at total cost of about 41 crores. It is located on the Rajpura, Madwal, Pangatpur and Fulpur. This bridge, this is about the Basantar bridge. It is about the Basantar. These 3 points are about the Uj bridge. The 4th point is about the Basantar bridge. Basantar Nala. Already said Nala is a canal, Basantar is a Basantar canal, over which Basantar bridge has been constructed by BRO. And next is all about the Project Sampark. Project Sampark. Sampark means contact. It is a project by BRO, started in 1975, headquartered with Jammu. Okay. The main aim of the project is to have responsibility of road construction from Pir Panjal ranges in north to Pathankot in south, from Poonch in the west. These are all present in Jammu and Kashmir region. Okay. So Pir Panjal range, Pathankot range, Pathankot in Punjab and Poonch range. Okay. So these are phenomena to have a interconnectivity between Jammu and Kashmir region, to have last mile connectivity of armed forces as well as to give relief to the local peoples. And last is, BRO is rendering its service via construction and maintenance of roads, bridges, fulfilling strategic need of defense forces. As I already mentioned, BRO comes under Ministry of Defense. It maintains the international roads and roads of strategic importance. Right. So it is all about the Project Sampark. This phenomena, this link, this news, which is also taken from the Hindu. And the final point of our series is Kasowal Bridge. Okay, Kasowal Bridge is constructed over Ravi River by BRO. Okay, same Border Road Organization has constructed this Kasowal Bridge over the Punjab region, over the Ravi River. Okay. So first point about this, a bridge across India, Pakistan. Okay, so it is a bridge across India and Pakistan, constructed by BRO over the Ravi River, connecting Kasowal enclave in Punjab to rest of country much ahead of its schedule. These phenomena, right? So BRO has constructed a bridge called as Kasowal Bridge over Ravi River in Punjab region. Next point is, it is under the project Chetak. So in Jammu Kashmir region, we have seen about the Project Sampark. In Punjab region, we have a project called as Project Chetak with headquarters at Uttarakhand, right? Headquarters at Uttarakhand, but it occupies, it also construct bridges and roads in Punjab region. So enclave in Punjab was connected only by a pontoon. Earlier, before the construction of Kasowal Bridge, that Kasowal region was connected with mainland through pontoon bridge. Pontoon bridges are nothing but temporary bridges, right? So floating bridges. But now we have a permanent bridge which is called as Kasowal Bridge. We have permanent connectivity between Kasowal region of Punjab with rest of the country with the help of Border Road Organization's Project Chetak, right? It is the third point. And finally, Ravi is one of the 5 tributaries of Indus, where flows in Punjab, Jhelum, Chenab, Beas, Satluj and Ravi. These are the 5 important tributaries of Indus River, and these rivers along with Indus, ICJ and BRS are included in Indus Water Treaty, where Indus, Chenab and Jhelum goes to Pakistan and Beas, Ravi, Satluj goes to India. Okay, in that ICJ, that is Indus, Chenab and Jhelum, the water sharing proportion is 80% to Pakistan and 20% to India. Clear? So these are the phenomena going on in the country right now. These are the important places which frequently appear in news. With this, I will give the link. Okay, I will talk about the project Chetak of BRO. This project of BRO was raised in June 1962 at Dehradun for the construction of Joshimuth, Malari and Rinkin Road. Okay, Joshimuth, Malari and Rinkin Road. Next is re-raised for expansion, improving the network and ditch compound network of road construction as well as repairing of roads. This phenomena also taken by BRO. And finally, the jurisdiction of the project was spread across the state of Rajasthan, Haryana and Punjab. Because of the extension of this jurisdiction, the BRO is able to construct the Kasowal Bridge in the Punjab region. Okay, so these are the fact and figures about the Kasowal Bridge, Punjab region, BRO, Project Chetak, and it is all taken from the Hindu newspaper. Okay, so please go through with this all the links which we will provide in the comment section. Okay, with this I conclude this session. Thank you very much for watching this session.